Hello and welcome back. This is Insti and I'm continuing playing Agatha Christie Murder on the Orient Express. Uh, yes, last episode was going through cabins or are they cabins? I don't know. We are probably going to go through them again. We need to get some heat to the train, get fingerprints, get passes. Fortunately, we managed to give the new set of teeth are to our engineer so he can eat, and he gave us a hammer. We can move to forest, but there are wolves in there, so they are blocking our way. I'll have to check my inventory. We have this hammer, and we need to get the fingerprints. I was thinking, I'm almost certain we are going to use this lump of coal, but obviously it's lump. I had a weird idea. Also, I have a weird idea for the wolves. Bear with me. Can we...
Something is wrong here.
Okay, now that does not work. What else? This is probably for the radio. That I definitely may have to check, because if I remember correctly, I already told that earlier, but it's a... I know it needs power. I know it needs the thingy to make Morse code. I'm missing the word for here. And I think that that it was a little out there how to do it. I don't know if you can get that. Well, we'll find out. I'm guessing we're not fixing it just yet, but let's see what the hammer does.
I smashed the lump of coal into a fine powder.
Okay, that's good, but that I still think we need something. If you haven't checked, but then there were none. We used turkey paste or something like that to spread the flour to the fingerprints. So I think we need something similar. But before that, I'll go outside and I have an idea with the wolves. Excuse me. Hopefully it works. Okay, we have white vinegar, but I can't remember. Maybe we can go out from here. For that, I'm sure. I have had a few problems with the game, and not the game per se, but the music in the game. I so far in every episode had 2 claims. Those are not that horrible things, but I wouldn't want to collect those in every video. So I'll have to see what I can do. That's the reason the second episode will be later, was later than usual. Hopefully this is not going to end up in the same way. All right, we need to put this up. Most of the time it's been in the in-game videos. So if you're checking this, I probably have muted a few of them in the second episode. Because there's no way I can get those music because the in-game videos are not in... They are recorded already, so I don't think the in-game audio affects them. So yeah, we have this wolf here, and we need to go through past it. I was just thinking, we have this gun, and honestly, I don't think we're gonna shoot anyone in this. Hopefully we're not shooting the wolf. I'm gonna regret this.
Remember, mademoiselle, you are the intruder here, not the wolf. It is senseless to harm the creature.
The gunshot seems to have frightened him off.
Okay, that one. Yeah, like I said, the claims are not that annoying, although there might be ads because of those, so... One of the
This
games...
looks like a dead end.
Okay. that was a metal spout. So similar what we already used. Okay, I have to remember that. So we can probably get something else. Was there another wolf? I'm guessing we are doing the same thing. Yeah, like I said, the claims are not that problematic at the moment.
Remember, mademoiselle, you are the intruder here, not the wolf. It is senseless to harm the creature.
But again, I don't want to have
The
them
gunshot seems to have frightened him off.
that many. Vampire the Bloodlines is one of those which had quite a lot, because obviously there were real music in most of the parts. So I can go over there or over there.
A hut out here in the middle of nowhere.
So that's where we need to go, but I don't know why. Well, before we go I'll do that. I want to check this area.
The student of crime gives up on the case so easily?
What?
The view from here is breathtaking.
It is. So, I'm guessing I can't...
Take care, mademoiselle. The snow, it may overhang the precipice and give way beneath you.
Thanks for the advice, Poirot. There's a face. Or a seal. But anyways, yes, let's go and check this area.
A shepherd's hut. Probably only used when the snow it is gone and he brings his sheep up to the high pasture.
Could be, or hunter's cabin, but I'm guessing it's a shepherd's. Can we enter?
One of the bars appears to be quite loose. Would you not say so, mademoiselle?
I don't know. Apparently you can't
One of the bars.
see that, so... Because...
The door is locked.
Rightio. Do we now use the pliers, maybe? Or hammer? Where did I put my hammer? There it is.
Fantastic.
Am I understanding this that we are now using iron bar to lock? Yes. If I remember correctly, yeah, this game is in parts. Now we are collecting evidence and whatnot, and after that we have quite a lot of talking to people and asking what they were doing and etc. Interesting. And it's missing a button, I'm thinking.
Nothing of interest.
Let's see. Yes, there's a definitely button missing. It's an attendant's uniform. The label reads Petite. There is a button missing and something metallic in the pocket.
What is this? A second passkey? So, the mystery of how a murderer may pass through the locked doors? It is now explained.
Okay. So we have a second passkey. Let's check. This key was found in the conductor's uniform from the shepherd's hut. Surely it explains how the murderer passed through the locked doors. Surely it does.
An antique stove. I haven't seen one of these in years. I can't loosen the pipe with my hands.
Ah, okay, but before that... Oh. Why did you... This is a stiletto, and I have it from Mr. Poirot that it is that kind of often used by American mafiosi. The backside of this blade is stained with dried blood, and I think I see smudge on the handle. So yes, we definitely need to get a fingerprint from that. Anything over here? Why we...
No, the gap in the bars is too small to crawl through.
I don't understand why we need to do that. Not with the hand. Do I use something? Okay. Now we have a stovepipe. I guess we are using that to fix the train. So let's go back.
No, the snow. It is much too deep to cross without the snowshoes.
Yes, I thought we already had those in our legs, but it would make sense to take them off. My nose itches.
A dear. I should leave her alone. She's got enough to worry about with all the wolves around.
That is true. And bird. Let's see. Am I going the right way? I think I am. No. So, first things first, let's go and fix the train, because apparently I have to do everything in here.
This must be where the steam is escaping. It's quite hot, even from a distance.
Okay, I guess we need to use these.
Something is wrong here.
Okay.
Wonderful. That should hold. At least until we are rescued. Not a bad job, if I do say so myself.
Okay, what's happening?
The heat is now restored. Now on to the matter of murder.
Right, okay, new save. I thought we were supposed to use those gloves because it was hot. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. But again, I was wrong. I'll go to the package car and see if I can use the spigot or whatever. What it actually is. Metal spout. It's extremely sharp at one end and has a tap. Okay, yes. So I'm guessing we are using it. One of these.
Your current course of action? It is a mystery to Poirot.
Thank you. Oh,
This spout fits just as well as the first.
right. So I guess we're filling this.
I filled the tumbler with olive oil.
Okay, now we have olive oil and vinegar. I don't know what we are going to do with those, but I'm sure it will come apparent. So now I have to walk back towards the carriages and apparently talk to people and get their passports. Okay. Can I enter here?
Do not disturb me. I do not have enough vinegar or olive oil for the Count and Countess. I will be shamed.
How rude.
But I do have vinegar and can I?
I have the olive oil and vinegar you need for tonight's meal.
Let me see then. Yeah, this olive oil is fresh enough and of sufficient quality. The quality of this vinegar will have to do, but there is not nearly enough. Tell me at once where you found it.
In the baggage car.
There must be far more vinegar for the authentic Erdapfel salad. I will get it myself.
That sounds like a good idea.
Perfect.
Perfect. So that means we apparently can now go in.
Loaves of bread. They smell lovely.
Oh, thanks. Now I'm hungry. I'm not that hungry, but fresh coffee, fresh coffee and fresh bread. That will be interesting. That's the best thing you can have, even if it's a little warm. And we have the. So, yeah. Okay, now I realized why we need to get in here. I don't know what that is, but we'll take it.
I'd better close this. I wouldn't like to waste fuel.
Good point. Yeah, let's grab that. Take everything you can, because it might be useful. Although I have to say that in the... And then there were none, there were a few things...
Such a cramped kitchen. I can't imagine how Klaus puts up with it.
Well, it's big enough. But yeah, then there were none. There were a few items you never used in any of the puzzles, if I remember correctly.
Such a cramped kitchen.
Okay, what is that? I don't know. We'll take
An
that.
empty bottle of olive oil and one that looks like it contained vinegar.
So what do I have? A bowl full of cake batter. Maybe I will make a cake. What else did we loot? Carafe of orange juice. Right. Now, let's see if I can...
Formidable.
Okay. So now we have a thing we can use to get fingerprints. Do we need something else? Tape was enough on the... and then there were none. We could go check, because I'm almost certain there were a few fingerprints we could... Oh! We don't have to go check so far. Where's the knife? Just the stiletto.
Wait, that is how Poirot would have done it.
Oh, shut up, Poirot. So now we have a fingerprint, probably. Right.
I can't get them to fit.
So I'm still missing something. I'll...
This contains nothing.
You said something when...
Quite interesting.
Okay, there has to be... So let's see if there are some fingerprints.
It has a fingerprint on it.
Yes. Can we use the tape?
There's nothing to attach them to yet.
Okay. So we need something else. So we have to go back. We are still missing something. And what do we have here?
These menu cards are perfect for collecting fingerprints.
Okay.
Sterling silver, of course.
Of course, of course. I don't know what...
Very appetizing in other circumstances, but I'm not hungry at the moment. I just don't have the appetite right now.
Pancake.
What they say about the chef is true. This buffet is a carnival's dream.
Food. So what do we have? A butter knife. Why do I have sneaking feeling we can do something with the butter knife? Let's see. Pliers. I think we used...
I bent the blade of the butter knife back on itself.
Exactly. I remembered we had to do something with this butter knife. Again, it's been what? $12 since I played this, maybe. But I do have vague recollections about things. But let's go get those fingerprints. Oh! Where's the knife? We need the knife also. And the glass.
Formidable.
So we now have that. Do I need to...
I obtained a clear print and have filed it.
Okay, so we don't have to combine everything. Okay, that's good. So... Now the knife. There it is.
I obtained a clear print and have filed it.
Right. That is good. Does this have a fingerprint? It's a light on its side. This must be conducive for something. Oh, right, the fingerprints. I totally forgot.
I obtained a clear print and have filed it.
Yes, that is good.
These goods are being...
All right, there's one in the... was there...
Quite interesting.
Oh, there was fingerprints also in here.
It has a fingerprint on it.
Sure does.
I obtained a clear print and have filed it.
I was thinking something. Now I totally forgot what it was. We have those broken snowshoes. Snowshoes. Can I get fingerprints from them? I'm guessing not. But let's at least try.
Wait, that is how Poirot would have done it.
I guessed wrong. So where's the tape? There you are.
I obtained a clear print and have filed...
Oh, thank you. Let's see, just to make sure, if there's fingerprints on the statue. There's the thingy.
This doesn't seem to work.
Okay. Hello?
I would like to fingerprint you.
Ugh, fine. Do as you must.
Oh, right. Thank you. Can
No
I-
talk now. I am busy.
Fine. But at least we have the fingerprints.
This seems to be a security door. It certainly lives up to its name. It's locked.
I know, but I want to see.
There's a visible fingerprint here.
Okay. Tape.
I obtained a clear print and have filed it.
One thing. Actually, two things. Do we have fingerprint on this?
Something is wrong here.
Okay, no. Well, I could have left that over there. Fingerprint on this.
This doesn't seem to work.
Okay. What else? What else? Sleeping cloth.
I can't get them to fit.
Okay. What else? Bible, Morse code book, typewriter ribbon, lock maybe?
Those don't work together.
Oh, those don't work together. I don't know. It's in this and then there were none. I'm guessing that's almost a reference to the Gabriel Knight tree, maybe, because that's the first game I heard that those don't work together. But I could be wrong. It could be even older stuff. Oh, by the way, we have the key. Can I use that?
That key doesn't work here.
Okay. Let's go back and start to see what we can do over here. I think I picked everything we can from there. I'll check if there's something we need to pick up, because apparently stuff do appear. So I'm guessing we need to start talking, and that means I need to probably make some notes for myself.
I'm sorry to disturb you.
Not at all. As you can see, I'm not exactly occupied at the moment. And I do know you're helping that funny little Belgian detective. What can I do for you?
Okay, so Debenham. Passport?
May I have your passport, please?
It's in my compartment. Feel free to collect it.
Okay.
Your full name, permanent address, and age, please.
Mary Hermione Debenham, 32. I'm between permanent addresses at the moment.
Right. Murder?
What can you tell me of the murder last night?
I'm afraid I have nothing to tell you. I went to bed and slept.
That's not exactly true. You didn't sleep all the way through.
You seem very at ease. Are you not distressed by what has happened?
Distressed? I have not really thought about it from that point of view. No, I cannot say that I am at all distressed. After all, people die every day.
They die, yes, but murder is thankfully a little more rare.
Yeah, basically, the guy was murdered next to your... well, not next to you. I'm sorry, I'm mistaking you, Hubbard. But yeah, stabbed to death. But anyways. Oh, so yes, again. I totally mixed this to the Hubbard. So yes, she might have slept. Okay, yeah, it was the Hubbard that woke up in the night. So sorry about that.
Were you acquainted with Monsieur Ratchet?
I saw him for the first time at dinner last night. Oh, I suppose at the station, perhaps. I don't recall.
How did he strike you?
I hardly noticed him.
He did not strike you as an evil personality?
Really, I cannot say I thought about it. Whether or not I liked Mr. Ratchet's face does not seem to be helpful in finding out who killed him.
To be honest, that's true. Fingerprints.
I'd like to take your fingerprints.
How very enterprising of you. How do we proceed?
I have some typewriter ribbon.
Splendid. This is all rather exciting.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah, I totally...
Do you know who Monsieur Ratchet really was?
Haven't a clue. Who was he?
Cassetti, the man behind the Armstrong kidnapping.
That was quite abominable.
Yeah, somehow I totally forgot the Debenham. I'm mixing her to the Hubbard. Where did you begin your journey? What is your final destination? Ooh, final destination. What can you tell about Mademoiselle Schmidt? Okay, let's start with the journey.
Where did you begin your journey?
Baghdad.
What were you doing there?
I have been acting as governess to 2 children.
Okay. Final destination. Destination unknown.
What is your final destination?
London. I'm giving up on Baghdad. Not much happens there. I'm hoping to find a suitable post in London.
Okay, and Schmidt.
What can you tell me about Mademoiselle Schmidt?
She's a nearly perfect traveling companion. Quiet, polite, thinks the world of her princess.
What is the color of her dressing gown?
A dressing gown. It's dark blue. Flannel.
Okay. Dark blue.
Did Mademoiselle Schmidt leave your compartment at any time during the night?
She was with the princess, reading, I believe, until quite late. I awoke when she returned. I remember thinking she was not paid enough for such long hours and checked my watch. It was 12:38.
Returned 12:38. Quite late. Quite late. Arbuthnot?
How well do you know Colonel Arbuthnot?
That's a very impertinent question, and I'll not answer it.
Thank you, Mademoiselle Debenham.
All right. This is the lady from the train station. Those timetables are important. 12:38. That's quite a late. Oh. So, let's start with her.
Countess, may I ask you some questions regarding the death of Monsieur Ratchet?
I'm not sure what I can do to help, but I'll try.
America?
Have you been to America?
No, mademoiselle. My husband was posted there. Diplomatic duties. But we were not married then.
Dressing gown?
What is the color of your dressing gown?
Why do you ask me that?
Detectives have to ask all sorts of questions. Forgive me.
It is yellow. Corn-colored chiffon. Are you really a detective, mademoiselle? I was told you worked for the railway.
Well, I'm assisting a detective. That's what I meant.
Is he a Yugoslavian detective?
I think he would tell you he belongs to the world, madame.
Fingerprints?
May I take your fingerprints?
Yes.
Thank you. Sleeping?
When did you fall asleep last night?
Soon after 1 o'clock, I believe.
1 o'clock. Quite late. Did you hear anything?
Did you hear or see anything unusual last evening?
After the train stopped?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
You didn't hear Mrs. Hubbard ringing her bell and calling out at around 1:15?
No, it would be very unlikely if I did. I'm sorry.
What?
That will do for now, Countess.
Why would it be very unlikely? Well, to be honest, there's nothing wrong with it. And
Count Andrigny, I am acting on behalf of Monsieur Hercule Poirot in this matter. May I speak with you?
I quite understand your position. I will do anything I can to assist you.
that is good. Makes things easier, Haspert.
May I have your passport, please?
Yes, certainly.
Rudolph Joseph Andrigny, aged 34. A diplomatic passport.
Yes, I am in the Hungarian consular service.
Wife, Elena Maria Andrigny. Age 20?
Yes, we have only been married a year.
Aged 20, thank you.
Okay.
Are you aware of the identity of the deceased, monsieur?
If you want to know his name, surely it is in his passport.
The name on his passport is Ratchet. That is not his real name. He is in fact Cassetti, who was responsible for the kidnapping and death of a child in America.
Ah, that certainly should throw light upon the matter.
Yes, it should.
Have you been to America, Monsieur Lecomte?
Yes, I was in Washington for a year. Extraordinary country.
Did you know the Armstrong family?
The kidnapped victims.
Yes.
Armstrong. It is difficult to recall. So many diplomatic functions. So many hands to shake. I cannot recall. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, evening?
Can you tell me how you spent the evening after dinner last night?
We had my wife's compartment made up while we were at dinner. On returning, we sat up in mine playing piquet. At about 11 o'clock, my wife retired for the night. The attendant made up my compartment, and I also went to bed.
Right. And fingerprints.
I'd like to take your fingerprints.
Whatever you need to do, I will be happy to cooperate.
Again, that's good. Oh, even more. Sudden stop.
The sudden stop of the train awakened you?
Naturally. I learned from the attendant of the avalanche, then went in to my wife and comforted her.
Interesting, your wife didn't mention that. So when did you return?
When did you return to your own compartment?
Well, I didn't, actually. That is to say, I did not like to leave my wife alone after the shock. We passed the remainder of the night together.
Right. notice anything useful?
Other than the train stopping, did you notice anything unusual?
No, I don't think so. I dropped off to sleep sometime before 2 a.m. and slept through until this morning.
You didn't hear the commotion in the compartment next to yours? The American lady who occupies it had quite an attack of hysterics and rang repeatedly for the attendant.
When was this?
At approximately 1:15.
No, I'm afraid I didn't notice.
So you didn't notice, you didn't hear. Okay, do you smoke?
Do you smoke, Monsieur Lecomte?
The occasional cigar only. They are always offered to me, you understand. But I do not much like them.
That will do for now, Count Endraigny.
Interesting. Why didn't you mention anything that the Count came to her room and that he was comforting him after the train crashed? And apparently Count didn't hear anything. There's one compartment only. Adrene is next to Hubbard, but if he was in the Countess's... Oh, wait. No, I'm mixing up, sorry. Rudolph, if he went to his wife compartment, they're exactly next to Hubbard's. And Hubbard was buzzing around and whatnot. And besides, there's the scream. What was it, the time? Well, that was 12:37. Okay. But 1:60 was the buzzer and whatnot. Okay. I'm most certain that we make... Oh, sorry, my earphones got stuck. I'm thinking that we probably have... Okay, yeah, we have these in here, but I do enjoy to make those in paper with my hand. I noticed that few things are not showing in the timetable, and it was... The scream is missing. There was scream at 12:37. And then Michelle went to ask about that, but there was scream. That was the one thing, and that is missing there. Anyways, I digress. Let's go move forward. Do I need to talk to... What is that? I don't know. I'll take that. I'll take that too. Whatever it is. Ice bucket and punch bowl. Okay.
May I have your passport, please?
Oui, mademoiselle. You will find it in room 1-2 in the Athens-Paris coach.
Okay. Movements.
What can you tell me of your movements after dinner?
I came in here to attend to the bar after everyone went to their rooms. I cleaned the salon car and went to the Athens-Paris coach to rest.
What time was that?
I closed the bar at midnight, so it would be a few minutes after that.
Interesting. Did you see or hear anything?
Did you see or hear anything unusual last night?
No, mademoiselle. The Athens-Paris coach was very quiet. And of course, the door leading to the Calais coach is locked. One can pass through only if Pierre Michel or Matteo opens it for him.
Oh, right, that is true. Klaus?
What do you know of Klaus, the chef?
Un artiste de la cuisine, and just as temperamental as a painter. Vous comprenez? No one is allowed to enter his kitchen.
His menu seems to overemphasize meat dishes.
It is true that. They call him Le Boucher, but not to his face, of course.
The butcher. It suits him.
Okay, and fingerprints.
I would like to take your fingerprints.
I see. Very well then.
To be honest, we didn't learn quite a lot, but that is most likely true because, yeah, they're on the different coach. So...
Klaus seems even more temperamental than usual today.
I fear an approaching catastrophe, mademoiselle.
Worse than avalanches and murder?
Certainement. Special dinner menus, as you no doubt know, are printed in advance of our departure in Istanbul. Here is tonight's menu. As you can see, tonight is to serve Wiener Schnitzel and Eldafe salad. native dishes of Austria, in honor of the Count and Countess Andreny.
Veal and potatoes. Why does this not surprise me?
But so many have asked for the salads, almost in defiance of Chef Klaus, and the porters have failed to put aboard enough vinegar and olive oil for the Edapfer salad. Klaus is in a rage. The embarrassment will be too much for him.
Well, we already fixed that. Klaus's movement.
What do you know of Klaus's movements last night?
As usual, he stayed in his precious kitchen, preparing his pastries and sauces for the next day's meals. He passed through the salon car a few minutes before midnight in a rage because one of the steak knives is missing. Passengers will take anything as a souvenir if it is not bolted down. Why, the things that have gone missing on this trip would astound you.
But perhaps they were not all taken as souvenirs. Perhaps some person, in order to do good, borrowed them?
Mademoiselle, forgive me, but I do not understand what you are talking about.
Let it pass. What did Klaus do after he entered the salon car?
Nothing. We went together to the Athens-Paris coach.
Okay.
Do you know Monsieur Ratchet was killed with a knife?
I had heard this, oui, but why? You think Klaus may have stabbed him?
A chef that temperamental? If someone was to criticize his masterpieces?
Mais non, mademoiselle. C'est très absurd. Klaus would not stab anyone. Not with a knife. He would hack them into little medallions with his cleaver.
That will be all.
Well, that really didn't help us, but actually, well, we realized that Klaus is very temperamental and he probably hacks people in pieces and probably will feed them to the passengers. And you there, sir.
Monsieur Foscarelli.
Ah, Signorina! I have been told you aid the great Hercule Poirot in his investigations. I will help you in any way I can.
Signorina non capito. I'm sorry. Passport?
May I have your passport, please?
Of course, of course! Here you are!
Italy and USA, okay. I see. Naturalized American. So, interesting.
You are Antonio Foscarelli. I see here you are a naturalized American citizen.
Yes, Signorina. It is better for my business. I am, as you can see, a salesman of motor cars. I do big business. I am up to date. I understand salesmanship.
Oh, interesting. Pipe, cigars, cigarettes?
What do you smoke? A pipe, cigarettes, cigars?
Cigarettes only.
Okay, fingerprints.
I would like to take your fingerprints.
Of course, of course. Anything to help.
Thank you.
Oh, you are quite helpful. Now.
You travel frequently to and from the United States?
Yes, for the past 10 years or so.
Did you ever come across Monsieur Ratchet?
Never, but I know the type. Oh, yes. It is very respectable, very well dressed, but underneath it is all wrong. I should say he was a big crook. I give you my opinion for what it is worth.
Your opinion is quite right. Monsieur Ratchet was Cassetti, the kidnapper.
What did I tell you? I have learned to read the face. It is necessary. Only in America do they teach you the proper way to sell.
Okay. And your movements.
Please tell me your movements last night after dinner.
With pleasure. I stay here in the salon car for a while. It is more amusing. I play cards with the American gentleman who sells the typewriter ribbons. We talk shop. Afterwards, we retire to my compartment and play the cards some more. And talk more shop. That one, though, he is not the salesman Foscarelli is, I can tell you.
Okay. Armstrong?
Do you remember the Armstrong case?
I do not quite remember, but yes. The name, it was a little girl, was it not? A baby, una bambina.
Yes.
Ah, well, these things, they happen, even in a great country like America.
Okay.
Have you ever come across any members of the Armstrong family?
It is difficult to say. I see so many people, you understand. I'll give you some figures. Last year alone, I sold...
Please, monsieur, confine yourself to the point.
With great pleasure.
Okay, so compartment.
What time did you go to your compartment?
Oh, it was early. 8:30 or so.
Interesting, quite early. But yeah, they were playing cards, if I remember correctly, when I was listening in. At least it sounded like it. And stopped playing cards.
What time did you stop playing cards in your room?
Not yet 10 o'clock. That stuffed shirt of a valet who shares the compartment with me came back from attending his master. A miserable people, the English. Not sympathetic. He sits in the corner, very stiff, reading a book. Mr. Hardman and I, we lose our taste for the cards, and Mr. Hardman, he goes off to his own room. The attendant makes up our bets.
Okay. So they stopped playing cards after Masterman returns. Okay. And bed.
What time did you go to bed?
I lay on my bunk for a while. The Englishman has, I think, the toothache. He gets out a little bottle of stuff that smells very strong. He moans and groans. I drop off around 10:30. Whenever I wake, I hear him groaning.
Interesting. Toothache.
Do you know if Monsieur Masterman left the room at all during the night?
I do not think so. If the door opened, the light from the corridor, one wakes up automatically thinking it is the customs examination at some frontier.
So I guess he didn't leave.
Did Monsieur Masterman ever speak of his master?
I tell you, he did not speak, even to introduce himself. He was not as sympathetic, a fish.
That will do for now, Monsieur Foscarelli.
Right. He was quite forthcoming, but the timetables, well, didn't really help. But he isn't quite far away anyways. I'll check the toilet.
This door is tightly locked.
Can I use the key now we have that? Nope. So I need to go back to these rooms and check them.
I can't see anything of interest.
I'm guessing we need to sometime... okay. We probably need to...
Regardez, mademoiselle.
Okay.
Nothing else to...
Et voilà.
Interesting. So, yeah,
I've already searched it.
I'm almost most certain that we need to check the shoes at some point. But what is this? Chauffeur's license. Interesting. This is a chauffeur's license issued by the state of New York in 1923. It appears to be valid. And what else? Lover's Captive. Well-worn copy of Love's Captive. Not Lovers, Love's Captive. This book is stamped on the backside of the cover. It reads Royal Military Library, Twickenham. Excuse me. Interesting book for in Masterman's suitcase. And here is the Masterman.
Yes, miss?
Monsieur Masterman?
Yes.
My name is Antoinette Marceu. I'm assisting Monsieur Poirot in his inquiries.
Yes, the attendant has explained that to me. The service is quite good, I must say. I prize good service highly, of course. My compliments.
Thank you. I would like to ask you some questions.
Yes, I expect you would. I shall help in any way I can.
That is good. Valet?
You are the valet of Monsieur Ratchet.
Yes.
You were.
May I have your passport, please?
Of course. Here you are.
Your full name, age, and address.
Edward Henry Masterman, 51. 21 Friar Street, Clerkenwell.
When did you last see Ratchet?
When did you last see Monsieur Ratchet?
It must have been about 9:35 or 9:40 last night, miss.
Right. And fingerprints.
I'd like to take your fingerprints.
That's a rather messy procedure, isn't it? Do you have something I might wipe my hands on afterwards?
Yes, I do.
Napkins? A wet cloth was beyond your capabilities? Well, I suppose they will have to do.
Thank you.
Yes, they will have to do. Now let's see. What happened when you saw?
Can you tell me what happened when you saw Monsieur Ratchet?
I went into Mr. Ratchet as usual, miss, and attended to his wants.
Duties?
What were your duties exactly?
To fold or hang up his clothes, miss. Put his dental plate in water and see that he had everything he needed.
What's his manner?
Was his manner the same as usual?
Well, miss, I think he was upset.
In what way upset?
Over our letter he'd been reading. He asked me if it was I who had put it in his compartment. Of course, I told him I hadn't done any such thing, but he swore at me and found fault with everything I did.
Okay. Sleeping draft.
Did your master ever take a sleeping draft?
Always when traveling by train, miss. He said he couldn't sleep otherwise. Even the express affected him, I am sorry to say.
Did he take it last night?
I poured it into a glass and put it on the table for him, though I didn't actually see him drink it.
Okay.
Was it unusual for him to swear at you?
Oh no, miss. He lost his temper easily. It just depended what had happened to upset him.
Well, he seemed like that kind of person.
Do you know what drug he was in the habit of taking?
I couldn't say I'm sure, miss. There's no name on the bottle. Just sleeping draft. And to be taken at bedtime.
Okay.
When was his usual bedtime? When aboard the train?
Midnight, miss. Or later. With the avalanche last night, I fancy he wouldn't fall asleep until closer to 1.
Okay. Midnight. Well, to be honest, the video would confirm that.
Did you mix his usual dose of the sleeping draft?
A half dose only, miss. At Mr. Ratchet's request. I can't say the reason.
So he wouldn't be that deep in sleep?
What happened next?
I asked him if there was anything else he required. He asked me to send for Mr. McQueen. Then I left him.
Sent for McQueen. Interesting. Why McQueen? That is interesting.
Was Monsieur Ratchet an early riser?
It depended, miss, upon his mood. Sometimes he'd get up for breakfast. Sometimes he wouldn't get up till just on lunchtime. I would wait until the attendant came to collect me.
Enemies?
Did you know that your master had enemies?
Yes, miss. I had heard him discussing some disquieting letters with Mr. McQueen.
Interesting.
Did you like your employer, Masterman?
I should hardly like to say that, miss. He was a generous employer.
But you didn't like him.
Shall we put it that I don't care very much for Americans, miss?
Well, we shall. Bad blood.
Do you know of any bad blood between your master and Monsieur McQueen?
No, miss. Mr. McQueen was a very pleasant gentleman. For an American.
Right.
How long have you been with Monsieur Ratchet?
Just over 9 months, miss. Before that, I was with Sir Henry Tomlinson in Grosvenor Square. I was with him for several years before he left for East Africa.
Okay, we have quite a lot. Have you ever been in?
Have you ever been in America?
No, miss.
Armstrong?
Do you remember the Armstrong kidnapping case?
Well, yes, I remember reading something about it. A little baby girl, wasn't it? Very shocking affair. But what has that...
Your employer, Monsieur Ratchet, was the man behind the kidnapping.
I'm at a loss for words, miss. I can hardly believe it.
I do understand. Do you smoke pipe? Do you smoke poke?
Are you a pipe smoker?
No, miss. I only smoke cigarettes. Gaspers, miss.
Yes, gaspers.
What did you do after leaving your master?
I told Mr. McQueen, miss, that the master wanted him. Then I came along here to my compartment and read. I was in bed by 10:30.
Who do you share this room with?
A big Italian fellow.
Does he speak English?
A kind of English, miss. He's been in America. Chicago, I understand. He was in here playing cards with another American, a Mr. Hardman. The game broke up soon after I entered, and Mr. Hardman left.
Do you and the Italian gentleman talk together much?
No, miss. I prefer to read. At present, I'm quite enjoying Love's Captive by a Mrs. Arabella Richardson. At about 10:30, the Italian fellow wanted to go to bed, so the attendant came in and made the beds up.
Did you go to bed then?
I went to bed, but I didn't sleep, miss. I had a toothache.
Okay, yeah, that's checking out. So, how long to take it, painful?
I am so sorry. Was your toothache painful?
Most painful, miss. I applied some oil of cloves, which relieved the pain a little, but I still was not able to get to sleep. I turned the light on over my berth and continued to read, to take my mind off of it, as it were.
Okay.
You did not sleep at all?
I finally dropped off about 4 this morning.
Okay, so...
Did the Italian gentleman sleep?
Him? Oh, he snored. I confess I envied Mr. Ratchet his sleeping draught, miss.
Did your companion leave the compartment at all during the night?
No, miss.
And did you?
Did you leave the compartment at all?
No, miss.
Really? Okay.
Did you hear anything during the night?
I don't think so, miss. The train being at a standstill made it all very quiet.
Good day, monsieur.
So you didn't hear anything? Well, that is going on quite a lot. Did we have... Royal Military Library, Twickenham. So that would suggest he has a military background. Menu, do I need to check this? Of special interest are Wiener Schnitzel and Edefels salad in honor of the Count and Countess Arden. Okay. And chauffeur's license. How many passports do we have at the moment? We have quite a many. Basically, I could see suspects. So Adreni, yes. Foscarelli, yes. Masterman, yes. McQueen.
I'll put this into my scrapbook so I can take a closer look at it later.
Right, let's look it right now. So what did we manage to pick up? Documents. We have threatening letter. Thought you'd double-cross us and get away with it, did you? Not on your life. We are out to get you, Ratchet, and we will get you. Right. We're going to take you for a ride, Ratchet. Sometime soon. We're going to get you, see? Right. So, McQueen, can we check?
Nothing to find here.
Well, bummer. And let's talk to you.
Say, this is mighty nice. What can I do for you?
My name is Antoinette Marceu. I'm assisting Monsieur Poirot with his investigation. You know the name, perhaps?
It does seem familiar, only I always thought it was a dressmaker.
Monsieur, for all our sakes, please do not repeat that in front of Monsieur Poirot. Do you promise me?
I think I just about promised you anything. Oh, darn it, there I go, sounding like Mr. Ratchet. You had enough of him, I expect, at the market in Istanbul. I didn't mean anything by it except, well, except it's the truth. I love your accent. A little bit of British, a little bit of French, a lot of heaven. Darn it, there I go again.
It is not a problem, Monsieur, but we must be serious now, don't you agree?
Serious, yes. Yes, of course.
So, Monsieur Ratchet's secretary.
You are Monsieur Ratchet's secretary?
Yes, for just over a year now. I met him in Persia. I'd come over from New York to look into an oil concession. I don't suppose you want to hear all about that. Getting oil out of Persia can get pretty difficult these days. Anyway, my friends and I had been let in rather badly over it. Mr. Ratchet was in the same hotel. He just had a row with his secretary, so he offered me the job. He was collecting antiquities, but not knowing any languages, was having kind of a hard time of it. I was pretty down and out, so I jumped at it.
Okay. Tell me something about Ratchet.
What can you tell me about Monsieur Ratchet?
The actual truth is, Miss Marceau, it is Miss, isn't it? Wait, don't have to answer. None of my business. The truth is, I don't know anything about him. He never spoke of himself or his life in America.
Right. Passport?
May I have your passport, please?
Sure. Here you go.
What is your full name, age, and address?
Hector Willard McQueen. I'm 28. You're about what? 24, 25?
Your address, Monsieur McQueen?
That's right, Hector. Always saying the wrong thing. That's me. I live at 58 Warren Street, New York.
Okay. Theory?
You must have formed some theory about him, Monsieur McQueen.
Well, yes, I did. For one thing, I don't believe Ratchet was his real name. I think he left America in order to escape from someone or something. I think he was successful until a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, what happened then?
He began to get letters, threatening letters.
Well, to be honest, I don't... After reading those letters, it's quite obvious he's suspected that Ratchet was something else than what he appeared to be. Fingerprints?
I would like to take your fingerprints.
Would you really? Say, that's swell. I mean, of course you can.
Thank you. Threatening letter?
Did you see these threatening letters?
Yes, it was part of my job to attend to his correspondence.
Do you still have the letters?
I've still got a couple in my files.
I know that because I already took them. When he...
How did Monsieur Ratchet act when he received the first letter?
It's difficult to say. He passed it off with a laugh in that quiet way of his. But somehow, I felt that there was a good deal going on underneath the quietness.
Okay, and...
Did you know that Monsieur Ratchet had asked Monsieur Poirot to help him?
No, I had no idea.
Did you like your employer?
No, I did not.
Why not?
I can't exactly say. He was usually quite pleasant in his manner. I'll tell you the truth. Antoinette... sorry, Miss Marceau. I disliked and distrusted him. He was, I am sure, a cruel and dangerous man.
Quite good guess.
Were you on good terms with your employer?
This is where I'm supposed to go all goose-fleshy and shifty-eyed, right? Like some thriller? You got nothing on me! And so on? Yeah, sorry, but Ratchet and I were on perfectly good terms.
When did you last see Monsieur Ratchet alive?
Last evening about 10 o'clock, I guess. Masterman fetched me. Mr. Ratchet wanted me to take down some memoranda for him.
On what subject?
Some pottery he'd bought, and a statue we were bringing back to Paris with us. It's in the baggage car.
Monsieur McQueen, you are correct. Ratchet was an alias.
I knew it! Who was he?
He was Cassetti, the man behind several notorious kidnapping cases, including the famous affair of little Daisy Armstrong.
That damn skunk! If I'd known that, I'd have cut off my right hand before I'd write another letter for him. May he burn in hell!
I didn't mean to upset you.
I have reason to be upset. My father was the district attorney who handled the case. I saw Mrs. Armstrong more than once. She was a lovely woman, so gentle and heartbroken. If ever a man deserved what he got, Cassetti's the guy. I'm rejoicing. A man like that wasn't fit to live.
You almost feel you could have murdered him yourself?
I do. Seems I'm kind of incriminating myself here.
You definitely are. Movements.
Can you describe your movements last night?
Let's see. I fell into conversation with that Englishman, Colonel Arbuthnot. Then I went to take down some memoranda for letters Mr. Ratchet wanted written, like I told you. When I came out, the Colonel was down the hall waiting while the attendant made up his bed. He came along back to my room here, and we discussed world politics. The government of India, the Wall Street crisis. I don't, as a rule, cotton much to Britishers. They're a stiff-necked lot. But Arbuthnot is all right.
Interesting. Yeah, we do know we heard him talking about politics.
Did you hear or see anyone in the corridor while you were talking?
Let's see. Yes. The attendant passed along once from the direction of the restaurant car. I caught a glimpse of his uniform. Then I do remember some woman in a silk, scarlet something or other. Again, just a glimpse. She was headed the other way, towards the restaurant car.
Did you see her return?
No. Now that you mention it, I don't think I did. But I suppose she must have.
So, woman with the silk to restaurant. Okay.
What time was it that the Colonel left you?
Pretty late. Getting on for 2 o'clock, I'd say.
Quite late.
You were together when the train stopped.
Yeah, shook me up a bit. But the Colonel was as cool as ice water. He's been in some tough scrapes, I'd guess. A near train wreck didn't even make him blink.
What happened after Colonel Arbuthnot said goodnight?
I called the attendant to make up my bed, and then hit the sack.
What sack did you hit, and why?
I went to bed. Slept till morning.
Do you smoke pipe?
Do you smoke a pipe, Monsieur McQueen?
Nope. Don't smoke at all, as a matter of fact. I know they say it's healthy, but I don't believe them.
Oh, right, yeah. It's good for your lungs.
During the evening, did you leave the train at all?
Only when Arbuthnot and I got out at Belgrade to stretch our legs. When we saw you. But it was bitterly cold, so we hopped back on again.
Which door did you use?
The one closest to here.
Do you remember if the door you used was bolted?
Yes, I seem to remember it was. At least there was a kind of bar that fitted across the handle.
Did you replace the bar when you returned to the train?
You know, I don't think I did. I remember now. I left it unbolted for you. Say, listen, since we know that Ratchet was really that swine Cassetti, there's something you should know.
Yes?
One night, late, after he'd received those threatening letters, I heard him working at my typewriter. He never did that. He always dictated his letters to me. From then on, wherever we were, he insisted on access to the safe. Whatever that document was, it was important enough that he traveled with it wherever we went. If there wasn't a safe available, he had one installed. I know for a fact he had one installed in the security room in the baggage car. I saw it when we were loading his crate.
Do you have the combination?
If he didn't trust me to type it for him, you really think he'd give me the combination?
Good day to you, monsieur.
If I would have to guess, it's the Bible verse part 13:18, and it was the number of the beast, so it's 666, because obviously Ratchet is a bad man. I'll check if there's anything.
Nothing of interest?
Okay. Yeah, I'm not checking the shoes just yet. I'm definitely guessing we need to check those shoes later. Schmidt and Debenham. A little bit forward. No. Don't leave. So we have the passport here. And Schmidt.
Nothing else to see in there. I've already searched it thoroughly.
Excuse me. And we have everything.
Yes, Fräulein. Frau Schmidt, I am helping Monsieur Poirot in the investigation of Monsieur Ratchet's death. Will you assist me?
If I can.
Passport?
May I have your passport?
Yeah, here it is.
You are Hildegard Schmidt, aged 43, living in St. Petersburg?
Where I attend Madame la Princesse, yeah.
And movements?
What can you tell me of your movements last night after dinner?
I moved very little. I read to the princess Bleak House by the English writer Charles Dickens. The sudden stopping of the train interrupted us. Madame la Princesse luckily was not harmed. I returned to reading. I do not read aloud very well, but Her Excellency says that it is all the better. So it sends her better to sleep. When she became sleepy, she told me to go. I returned to the compartment I share with Fräulein Debenham.
Okay, what time did you return?
What time was that?
It was very late. 1:30 or more.
1:30 or more. So, Debenham?
Tell me about Mary Debenham.
She is a very agreeable young lady. She was already asleep when I came in after reading to Her Excellency.
What color is Mademoiselle Debenham's dressing gown?
It is a pale purple. Mauve, I believe the English say.
Okay.
Did Mademoiselle Debenham leave the room at all last night?
Not after I returned. I sleep lightly, Fräulein. You understand? Should Her Excellency require me.
Fingerprint.
I would like to fingerprint you.
If you must.
I do indeed.
Have you ever been to America?
No, never. I should like to go someday.
And
Do
Ratchet.
you know who this man Ratchet really was?
He was not Ratchet?
His name was Cassetti. He was responsible for the death of a small child named Daisy Armstrong.
My God! I have heard of that. The kidnapping. It was wicked. Wicked! We are not so wicked as that in Germany.
Okay.
Is this your handkerchief, Frau Schmidt?
No, it is not mine.
It has the letter H, you see.
Ah, but it is a lady's handkerchief, that. A very expensive cambric handkerchief. Embroidered by hand. It comes from Paris, I should say.
Did you see anyone as you returned to your compartment?
Only an attendant.
He was sitting at the end of the corridor.
No, Fräulein. He came out of one of the compartments in the middle. 2 or 3 doors from Madame la Princesse.
Interesting. Two or three from Princess. Hubbard.
Was it Mrs. Hubbard's compartment?
It may have been.
But I saw him come out. You weren't in the corridor.
I most certainly was. He nearly ran into me, apologized, and hurried off in the direction of the salon car. A bell began ringing, but I do not think he answered it.
Then the bell started ringing.
Yes, Fräulein.
Okay. Okay.
The attendant was Michel.
Our regular attendant. No, Fräulein.
What? What did he look like?
Small, dark. He had a little mustache. His voice, when he said, "Pardon," was weak and high-pitched. Higher than mine. I'd never seen him before.
Good day to you, mademoiselle.
Why did you almost describe Poirot? Interesting. One thing I need to check now is, did we get one information suspects? Hildegard Schmidt. Returned to her compartment after reading to her mistress at 12:38. Well, basically I said that kind of, well... Right. I'll take a quick break, I'll get something to drink, and I'll be right back. And back. I wish I could check what the person said earlier, because we have a little problem. I'm almost certain that Hildegard Schmidt said she returned 1:30 or later. This is 12:30. Hopefully I remember that correctly. I'm always mixing those, but 1:30. So either that was a mix-up in the gameplay, or that's actually something that is really wrong. Because then we have this little problem. Vouched by an attendant. By who? Who was the attendant who's watching for it? Because we haven't, well, basically we already know her mistress is also watching for it, and Debenham. But we haven't talked to an attendant. So either it's some attendant we will find later, or I have totally forgotten, but either we found it later, or that's... or there's not the attendant. But anyways, I digress. It might be just a mistake. It could be. Anything interesting in here?
This wash basin.
Yes, it connects.
Nothing to find.
Okay. So, okay. Can we check your...
I don't need anything else from...
Oh, that's mine.
Regardez, mademoiselle.
Long Island. Postcard from America, Coney Island to be precise. So, Coney Island, in memory of a last happy day by the sea, Helena rode to the roller coaster, but Helena rode the roller coaster, but I could not. Olaf von Sydow. This looks like a creator's handwriting. It says, yes, happy day by the sea. Helena rode the roller coaster, but I could not. Yeah, I was reading from it here. Okay. Olaf von Sydow. It's remarkable that the nope. The ice haven't melt already. Yep. Okay.
I've already...
Yes, we have checked that already. And hello.
Hello, miss. There is more snow coming, I think.
Greta, you know Monsieur Poirot has asked me to help him investigate the murder.
Yeah, I have heard this. It is satisfactory with you?
Very. Will you help me?
I will try.
You do better than try, Olson. You do better than try. Or I pin this murder on you. Okay, may I have your passport, please?
May I have your passport, please?
It is here.
Greta Sigrid Olsen, 49 of Stockholm.
Of course, I am a missionary now, nurse at the school in Gemlik. and not much in Sweden.
Of course. Hubbard.
You gave Mrs. Hubbard a headache powder last night.
Yeah, poor lady with the pain in the head.
That was around 10:40, I believe.
I am not sure.
Headache powder. 10:40.
Did you leave this compartment again after helping Monsieur Poirot?
His ankle is not so very injured, you know. I looked at it again this morning. I think he is not as brave as some of my little children.
After Monsieur Poirot?
I woke several times, of course, but it is because you were peeking out and leaving the compartment, not I.
After that?
When you finally settled down. No, I was very tired from all the activity. I slept. If I had gone out, would you not have noticed?
I'm not sure. You were here in the lower berth.
I slept until the morning. I slept soundly enough that you might have gone out again. I do not know about that, but I myself was sleeping.
Okay,
Your dressing gown is brown, is it not?
Yeah, you have seen it for yourself. Very comfortable, of Jaeger wool.
right. Fingerprints.
I would like to fingerprint you.
But of what am I accused?
Nothing, it's only formality.
Oh, I am sorry. Please fingerprint me.
Right.
Did you see anyone in the corridor when you took Mrs. Hubbard the medicine?
Not in the corridor, no.
Somewhere else?
I opened the door to the dead man's compartment by mistake. Mr. Ratchet. I was much ashamed.
Okay.
What did you and Mrs. Hubbard talk about?
The pain in her head. It started at the back and sweep itself forward over her eyes and...
Anything else?
She asked me if the door between her compartment and Mr. Ratchet's is locked. I check it for her.
And?
It is locked.
Interesting. What a peculiar thing to ask.
Did you actually see him?
Yeah, in his bed he was, reading a book.
And he didn't say anything.
Did he say anything to you?
He laughed. He invited me. I do not care to repeat what he said. It inflamed my cheeks. I left at once naturally and went into Mrs. Hubbard.
That means you were the last person to see Monsieur Ratchet alive.
I am suspected of all the people aboard the train. I am suspected.
Have you ever been in America?
No. Almost I go once. I was to accompany an invalid lady, but it was cancelled. I much regret it. They are very generous, the Americans. They give much money to schools and hospitals, and they are very practical.
Do you remember hearing of the Armstrong kidnapping case?
No. What was that?
A little girl was kidnapped and murdered. Her mother and an unborn child died in childbirth. A member of the staff committed suicide. Monsieur Ratchet was the man behind the kidnapping.
that there are in the world such evil men. It tries one's faith. The poor mother, my heart aches for her.
Thank you, Mademoiselle Olsen.
I'll try to finish the questioning of the passengers on this episode. On next episode, we probably continue with the rest of the crew. And I'm sorry, but it seems like Greta here is lying. Can I actually use the card? Nope. She has been in America. Well, to be honest, no. I don't want to talk to Poirot at the moment. Ratchet's room, anyone inside? Just making sure.
Better to let the dead rest in peace.
Yes.
Nothing else to see in there.
Nothing. Oh, nope. Oh, right, fingerprints. And the footprints, do I need to do something with those? But that's later.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh, right, this is open. Okay. Ah, okay.
There's a visible fingerprint here.
Good, good, good. So where's the tape? There it is.
I obtained a clear print and have filed it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll guess I go out then. So we have this.
Quite interesting.
Oh no, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Are we using this cake batter to...
Excellent. Like the hand in the glove.
what do I need to... Can I...
My body heat will melt it. I must find something to pick it up with.
Your current course of action? It is a mystery to Poirot.
Okay. What can we use? What do I have? Ice tongues?
That is most pleasing.
Okay. Probably too large to be lady's footprint, although it isn't out of the question. Okay. Do I need to do something with it? I don't know. So, can I follow the foot? Okay. I'll see if I can go back inside.
The cast melted. My body heat turned it back into a shapeless mass of batter.
Oh, okay. I think I know what we need to do. Let's try that again. Where's the batter?
Excellent. Like the hand in the glove.
And
that is most pleasing.
So I'm guessing we need to do something really funny.
Wait, that is how Poirot would have done it.
I don't think so. Well, yeah. Anyways, let's go back in, because like I said, I will go and... Nope. I'll try to go and ask about people Ratchet. We haven't been in these rooms. Okay.
HMK.
Okay. HMK. Why do I need to know that?
No need to look under there again. Nothing to find here. I've already...
Okay.
Nothing to see.
Can I...
Not a precise match, I am afraid.
Okay, so I can use the mold to check the footprints. Footprints and matching the footprints to the shoes. I'll have to check the rest also, but
Nothing of interest here. Nothing else to see in there.
Poirot could see at once that these are the shoes of a man much too small to have made the footprint.
okay. So there's nothing here. What did we find? Do we have it in here? Threatening letter. Document. No. Notes beautiful mid-Atlantic accent. Okay. What did we pick up from the inventory is a little bit awkward. It was similar to what, and then there were none because it just sticks them wherever there's space. Oh, Stavros. Okay, so we have seen this already. Blank menu. So, I'm not sure. I have the... It was something HMK. I'm still little... Well, let's go and talk to Dracomirov. Again, like I said, I'll go through the...
I won't find any...
through the questionings for the passengers. Oh. Dracomirov.
The bracelet is worthless, mademoiselle. It is copper only. I bought it outside the train station in Istanbul. For my arthritis. Take it if you like.
I'm very sorry, Your Highness. I realize how this must look, but I'm only doing the job assigned me. I promise I'll return it to you, if I can.
Ah, then I expect you would like to interrogate me. I believe that is the correct term.
If I may.
But of course. I am suspect just as anyone in the Calais coach must be. I am ready for the 3rd degree.
Okay. I have borrowed your passport.
I have borrowed your passport, Your Highness.
I noticed that as well.
Natalia Dragomirov, 17 Avenue Kleber, Paris. You are traveling home from Istanbul, madame?
Yes. I have been staying at the Austrian embassy. My maid is with me, as you saw in the marketplace.
Movements.
Could you give me a brief account of your movements last evening?
Nothing could be simpler. After dinner, Schmidt, my maid, read to me. We were interrupted by the train stopping to avoid the avalanche. Then she read aloud to me some more, till quite late.
Can you give me an idea of the time?
If I were to guess, I would say it was 1:30.
Again, 1:30. So... now we have problem. Either it's wrong interpretation in the game, or they're actually saying 1:30, but the text is wrong. I don't know.
Has your maid been with you long?
15 years.
Do you consider her trustworthy?
Absolutely. Her people come from an estate of my late husband's in Germany.
Okay. Dressing gown.
Forgive the personal nature of this question, madame, but what is the color of your dressing gown?
My dressing gown? It is of blue satin.
Right, and fingerprints.
I regret to tell you that I must take your fingerprints.
Dear me. With typewriting ribbon? Have you something I may clean my hands with afterwards?
I have some paper napkins.
Thank you, mademoiselle. Those should suit admirably.
Right. America?
You have been in America, I presume, madame?
Many times.
Were you acquainted with a family by the name of Armstrong?
You speak of friends of mine, mademoiselle. Sonia Armstrong was my goddaughter. I was on terms of friendship with her mother, Linda Arden, one of the greatest tragic actresses in the world. As Lady Macbeth, as Nora in A Doll's House, there was no one to touch her. I was not only an admirer of her art, I was a personal friend.
Is Linda Arden dead?
No, she is alive. Tis a sort of life. She lives in complete retirement. Her health is very delicate. She must lie on a sofa most of the time.
Mrs. Armstrong had a sister, did she not?
Yes, much younger than Mrs. Armstrong.
And she is alive?
Certainly.
Where is she?
I must ask the reason of these questions. What have they to do with the murder on this train?
The dead man was responsible for the kidnapping and death of Mrs. Armstrong's child.
Ah. In my view, then, this murder is an entirely admirable occurrence. You will pardon my slightly biased point of view.
It is most natural, madame.
Where's the younger daughter? Okay.
Where is the younger daughter of Linda Arden, the sister of Mrs. Armstrong?
I've lost touch with the younger generation. I believe she married an Englishman some years ago, but at the moment I cannot recollect the name. Mademoiselle, you will forgive me, but the one you assist, he who guides the investigation, no one has told me his name.
He is Hercule Poirot, madam.
Poirot. Of course. I thought his face was somehow familiar to me. Poirot on this train. It is destiny.
Was that all?
Cassetti. That monster. On this very train. And Poirot as well. Oh, we are but puppets of destiny.
Right. Interesting. Might as well check.
Not a precise match, I am afraid.
Right. Whose room was... Oh, right. Let's see.
Poirot could see at once that these are the shoes of a man much too small to have made the footprint.
I've already searched it thoroughly. Nothing else. Colonel Arbuthnot, I do not believe we've been properly introduced.
I expect the formalities must be winked at in a case like this, mademoiselle. The attendant told me you are acting on the Frog Detective's behalf.
I am the Frog, monsieur. Hercule Poirot is Belgian.
Apologies, no offense meant. Your accent's a bit of mid-channel. difficult to pick up.
Right. Passport.
May I have your passport, please?
Of course.
Colonel Francis Gordon Arbuthnot, the Muse, Cheltenham, Royal Northumberland Fusiliers, currently stationed in India.
Yes, on leave.
But you're not traveling on the P&O boat? Why not?
I stopped in Baghdad with the AOC, who happens to be a good friend of mine.
Debenham.
Where did you meet Mademoiselle Debenham?
Miss Debenham? What, in Baghdad, if you must know.
And your opinion of her?
You can take it from me, she's all right. A Puka Sahib.
Right. Movements.
Can you give me an account of your movements last night?
Yes, I think I can. After dinner, I had a drink in the salon car with young McQueen, the dead man's secretary. Surprisingly knowledgeable about world affairs for an American, even if he had got hold of some tomfool ideas about India. We adjourned to his compartment, let me see, around 2100. That's 9 p.m. You saw us in the Belgrade station courtyard. We stepped out for a bit of fresh air, but with the weather turning foul, that wasn't on.
Right. Fingerprints.
I will take your fingerprints now.
Will you, by Jove? Well, get on with it then.
Smoke.
What do you and Monsieur McQueen smoke?
McQueen doesn't, now that I think of it. A pipe's my weapon of choice.
And Belgrade.
What happened after Belgrade?
Around 2200, that's 10 p.m. Ratchet's valet came to fetch him for his employer. He went off for a while.
Okay.
And what did you do after Monsieur McQueen left you?
Well, I went back to the salon car for a nightcap, didn't I? I was heading to my compartment when I ran into McQueen. Went off back to his room again to continue the natter. I put him straight on India. Learned a bit about the American stock market. Bloody fool's game, if you ask me. Oh, pardon that is to say, my language.
Do not concern yourself.
There, you see. Now I can hear the accent. It comes and goes.
And wow, okay, how long?
What time did your discussion of world affairs end?
The conversation was so engrossing, by the time I looked at my watch, it was 1:45. McQueen called the attendant to make up his bed. I came back here.
Did anyone pass Monsieur McQueen's room while you were talking?
A good many people, I should think. I wasn't paying attention. The attendant did at one point, and I think I caught a glimpse of you wandering about.
Let us say during the last hour of your conversation.
Really, I can't.
Colonel, you have the soldier's observation for detail.
Hang on. There was a woman, I think.
Interesting. That's our woman.
Was this woman young or old?
Didn't see her, wasn't looking that way. Just a rustle and a scent.
Mademoiselle Debenham?
No, I'd recognize. That is to say, it wasn't. No, it was very strong. Fruit or something.
So it wasn't Debenham?
Can you pinpoint the time the woman passed? What were you discussing?
Let's see, I was detailing the other washout. Stalin's 5-year plan was turning out. It must have been within the last half hour. More definite than that, I can't say.
Okay. Been in America?
Have you ever been in America?
Never. Don't want to go.
And...
Did you ever know a Colonel Armstrong?
Armstrong. I've known 2 or 3 Armstrongs. Selby Armstrong. He was killed on the Somme.
I mean the Colonel Armstrong who married an American woman and whose only child was kidnapped and murdered.
Ah, yes. I remember reading about that. Shocking affair. Never actually came across the fellow, but his name came up in the officer's mess, of course. Toby Armstrong. Nice fellow. Everybody liked him. Distinguished career, got the VC, Victoria Cross.
Okay,
The man who was killed last night was the man responsible for the murder of Colonel Armstrong's child.
Then in my opinion, the swine got what he deserved. Though I would have preferred to see him properly hanged, or electrocuted, or whatever it is they do over there. Trial by 12 good men and true. Sound system.
Interesting. Okay.
Anything you can recall from last night that strikes you as suspicious?
There was one odd thing.
Yes?
As I got back to my compartment, I noticed that the door of the one beyond mine, number 16, it wasn't quite closed. The chap inside peered out in a rather furtive sort of way, then quickly pulled the door. Probably nothing in it, but you know what it is. Early hours of the morning, everything very still. The thing had a sinister look, like a detective story.
Thank you, Colonel Arbuthnot.
Not at all. Now, if you don't mind, I think I'll pop along to the salon car.
Don't let me keep you.
You mean to say you intend to stay in my compartment?
Yes.
And search through my belongings?
I'm sorry, but I really must.
But that's... I mean, it just isn't. That's bloody irregular. Pardon my French.
Bloody irregular. So it was Hardman apparently who was speaking around 1:45 when Arbuthnot returned. Interesting. Interesting. I'll just check.
I won't find. I've already searched.
Yeah, I have searched everything. So yeah, I definitely go and question the Hardman. After that, I'll end this episode.
Nothing else to see in. I won't find.
Oh, he's not in here. I don't need these.
Poirot could see at once that these are the shoes of a man much too small to have made the footprint.
Wait a minute, did I? Wait a minute, have I talked to Hardman already? I don't think I have, let's see. Cyrus Hardman, yes, I'm missing fingerprints, so I haven't talked to him or Hubbard. And Michelle and waiter. Well, to be honest, I'll leave those for the next episode. Yes, we have managed to do quite a lot, but obviously there's still more to do. So yeah, on next episode I will try to get this rest, talk with the rest of the people, and then see what else we can do. I have to remember check those footprints. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time, and until then, goodbye.